Ever walked into a room and forgotten why? Felt your phone vibrate, but it didn't? Or said something so weird it made everyone freeze? Your brain is a powerful machine, but sometimes it glitches. And these glitches? They reveal more about your mind than you might think. From sleepwalking on cranes to your brain screaming in silence, 8 real mind glitches that prove your brain isn't just weird, it's wonderfully broken. Number 1, Freudian slip. Ever blurted something awkward and instantly wished for a time machine? Like calling your teacher mom or saying I love you to your boss? Yeah, classic Freudian slip. Sigmund Freud believed these slips weren't accidents. He thought they were unconscious desires leaking through the cracks in your speech. Your mind juggling suppressed emotions, unresolved issues, and boom, it spills out. But modern science? It tells a slightly different story. When you speak, your brain is multitasking hard. It's pulling vocabulary, structuring grammar, aligning sounds, all in real time. And sometimes, similar words line up in your mental autocomplete, and the wrong one wins the race to your mouth. Most of the time, it's not about repressed fantasies, it's just a system overload. Still, when Ross says Rachel at the altar instead of Emily, you can't help but wonder, was that a glitch? Or a truth his brain couldn't hide? Number 2, intrusive thoughts. You're on a rooftop. You look down, and suddenly a random voice in your mind says, jump! No, you don't want to, but the thought was there, uninvited, sharp, disturbing. That's an intrusive thought, a mental glitch where unwanted. Bizarre ideas break into your consciousness like an annoying party crasher. Some are violent, others are sexual. Many are just absurd, and yet they feel real. For most people, they're fleeting. But for those with OCD or anxiety, they don't leave quietly. They echo, loop, obsess. The problem isn't the thought, it's the panic over having the thought. The fix? Ironically, don't fight it. Research shows the more you try to suppress an intrusive thought, the louder it becomes. Acknowledge it. Let it exist without judgment. That weakens its power. You're not crazy. You're just human. And your brain? Sometimes it says the quiet part way too loud. Number 3, color constancy failure. Remember the dress? That viral war between Team White and Gold and Team Blue and Black? Spoiler alert, you were all wrong. Or right. Depends on your brain. Your eyes don't just see color, they guess it. Based on light, shadows, context. If your brain assumes the dress is in shadow, it sees blue and black. If it thinks it's in bright light, it adjusts to white and gold. That's called color constancy failure. Your brain trying to correct for lighting and making a wild guess. And it doesn't stop there. Check out the checkerboard illusion. 2 squares, same color. But one's in shadow, so your brain brightens it up without asking you. It's like Photoshop, running in your skull. What's wild is that your brain lies to protect your perception of truth. The result? Optical illusions, visual arguments, a reminder that what we see isn't always what's real. It's what our brain thinks is real. Number 4, sleepwalking. Imagine this. You wake up on a rooftop crane, 130 feet high in your pajamas. No memory, just wind and fear. Sounds like a nightmare? It's real. Sleepwalking is when the motor parts of your brain wake up, but your conscious mind stays in dreamland. You move, act, even talk, but you're basically on autopilot, like a zombie version of yourself. In 2005, a teenage girl in London did exactly that. Climbed out her window, scaled a crane, and slept there. Rescue workers found her snoring. Gently waking her was the only way to save her without causing panic. The craziest part? Sleepwalking has been used as a legal defense. In 1988, a man in the UK assaulted his friend while sleepwalking. The court ruled it was insane automatism. His body acted without his mind. This glitch shows that our brain doesn't fully shut down during sleep. It just reroutes, and sometimes that rerouting gets weirdly dangerous. Number 5, exploding head syndrome. No, your head doesn't literally explode, but in the moment, it feels like it just did. You're lying in bed, drifting off to sleep, when suddenly, bang! A loud crash, a gunshot, a burst of static, or even a voice screaming your name. You jolt awake, heart pounding, scanning the room for danger. But there's nothing there. No noise, no threat. Just you, and the echo of a sound your brain made up. This bizarre experience is called exploding head syndrome. Despite the name, it's completely harmless, but it can be incredibly frightening. It's not a dream, and it's not a hallucination in the traditional sense. It's a neurological hiccup. Scientists believe it happens when your brain is shutting down for sleep, specifically, the part of your brain responsible for processing sound doesn't switch off smoothly. Instead, it short-circuits and fires a phantom noise that only you perceive. This might be due to stress, fatigue, or disruptions in the brain's reticular formation, your internal on-off switch. Some people experience it once in their life. Others deal with it frequently. It's not linked to any serious health issues, though it often comes hand in hand with anxiety or insomnia. So if it ever happens to you, don't panic. Your brain didn't break. It just threw a mini jump scare on its way to sleep, kind of like a toddler, having one last dramatic tantrum before finally closing its eyes. Weird, right? But totally human. Number 6, phantom vibration syndrome. You felt it, that tiny buzz in your pocket, the familiar tug of a notification. You reach for your phone, but there's nothing. No text, no call, no alert, just silence. That eerie sensation is known as phantom vibration syndrome, and it's more common than you'd think. In our hyper-connected world, where many of us check our phones dozens, if not hundreds, of times a day, our brains have become wired to expect notifications, so much so that sometimes we imagine them. It's not magic or madness. It's a quirky mix of sensory confusion and psychological conditioning. A twitch in your leg muscle, the fold of fabric, or even shifting body weight can be misinterpreted by your brain as a buzz. Your mind fills in the blanks with what it expects, a message. It's similar in concept to phantom limb syndrome, where amputees feel sensations from a limb that's no longer there. But instead of a missing arm, it's a phone notification that never happened. Experts believe this glitch stems from how dependent we've become on constant digital communication. Our brains now treat phone alerts as important stimuli, triggering false alarms. So if your leg buzzes but your phone's quiet, don't worry. You're not broken. Your brain's just a little too eager to stay connected. Number 7, semantic satiation. Ever repeat a word so many times it starts to sound completely ridiculous? Try it. Mirror, 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 mirror. Suddenly it's not even a real word. It's just a weird sound. That's semantic satiation in action. A psychological phenomenon where repetition strips a word of its meaning. It's not the word that changes, but your brain's ability to process it. When you say or hear a word over and over in quick succession, the neurons responsible for interpreting that word get overloaded and temporarily tune out. It's like listening to the same joke on repeat. Eventually, it stops being funny. In this case, the brain starts treating the word like meaningless noise. The term was first coined by psychologist Leon Jakobovits, James, in the 1960s. He noticed that after repeating a word too many times, people started struggling with language-based tasks involving that same word. It was as if the brain hit a reset switch. It's a fascinating reminder that language is a mental construct. Words only have meaning when your brain actively maintains it. Without attention or novelty, even the most familiar words fade into gibberish. So, next time you're stuck on a word, take a break. Let your neurons recover. Or just marvel at how strange it is that something as essential as language can momentarily stop making sense. Because let's be honest, banana, 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 banana starts sounding pretty weird, pretty fast. Number 8, the doorway effect. You walk into a room with purpose, but the moment you cross the threshold, your mind goes blank. Why did you come in here again? That frustrating mental hiccup is known as the doorway effect, a real and surprisingly common glitch in your brain's memory system. It happens when passing through a doorway triggers your brain to treat the new space as a new event. Like a scene change in a movie, your brain mentally resets to match the new environment. Researchers believe this effect is linked to how our brain handles episodic memory, the part responsible for remembering events and context. When you move from one room to another, your brain often files away whatever you were thinking under previous context, assuming it's no longer relevant. That information doesn't disappear, but it becomes harder to access unless you retrace your steps. It's not about distraction or forgetfulness. It's how the brain prioritizes new surroundings and cues, favoring the present context over the past. In essence, your brain loves a clean slate, even when you don't. So next time you blank out in a new room, don't beat yourself up. It's just your brain trying to tidy up. So what does all this mean? It means your brain is amazing but far from perfect. These glitches aren't bugs. They're features of a system doing its best with limited bandwidth. And sometimes they offer windows into how our minds really work. So next time you forget why you open the fridge, or hear a gunshot in your dreams, remember you're not broken. You're beautifully glitched. Liked this video? Smash that like button, glitch the subscribe icon, and let me know in the comments. What's the weirdest thing your brain has ever done? Let's get weird together.